Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. This is Anna Chaos with another Living with a Toy Collector, and today we're talking about something that is really dear to me, or it was technically dear to my older sister, and then I eventually inherited. And it's the 1982 Strawberry Shortcake Bake Oven Radio. Yes, I've had this. So this was originally bought for my older sister. I remember, I believe they bought it from my sister Sears in Puerto Rico, and she had it for years and years and years and years. And once she kind of, grew up out of it, eventually she just gave it to me. She didn't want it anymore. And this was really cute. I kept mine very clean and in a temperature control environment. Unfortunately, you can see that the radio has turned yellow. Originally, it was white. But this is technically a radio. This is exactly what this is. It's a radio, and I'll show you guys a little closer once we take a closer look to this. But it was a radio. It's a battery held, and the oven would turn on as you listened to this. So yeah, so this was kind of really fun. I guess I'm going through my collection. I just kind of stumbled on it again. This is one of those that every few years I go, oh, I remember this, and then I carefully put it away, and then it comes back up. So I'm hoping someday I can display this, because this has been in my family since, God, like 40 years now, literally since it came out. So it's been a hot minute, but let's go ahead and take a closer look. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Strawberry Shortcake. Now, Strawberry Shortcake is up there in IPs like Snoopy. Snoopy's a lot older, but Strawberry Shortcake has been around as far back as I can remember in my lifetime. Originally, it's an IP from the 70s. It got started as a greeting card, like illustration, and then later on, around I believe it was 77 or 78, the IP finally got legs, and then they kind of developed the character even more. So see right here, freelance artist for American Greeting, and then the character first appeared on Laurel Valentine's Day's greeting card in 1972-73, and then later on, simply called Girl with Daisy or Strawberry Girl, and then later on it became, Strawberry Shortcake, which is really, really neat. Since then, I gotta tell you, I myself was not, my sister was huge into Strawberry Shortcake. I was the kid that liked Nintendo, but I grew up around it and with it, and even though it wasn't my favorite thing, it's still a really fun memory because it brought a lot of joy to me and my sister. Now, the original series that I remember, by the way, translated in Spanish, was the 1980s cartoon to Kenner Productions. And then this is like some of the toys, but like there was a Strawberry Shortcake cartoon. There was a reboot in the early 2000s, and the last reboot that I was tracking was in 2010 with the Berry Bitty Adventures, which was like 3D and CGI. And then this was a new one that I did not know at all existed, which is called the Berry in the Big City series. Let's see what that looks like. Oh God, that's okay. Yeah, you know what? It appeals to the kids today. I am not the target demographic, but that looks cute. That looks more like Smurfette more than Strawberry Shortcake to me. But again, this appeals to the new kids today, not to me. I'm not the target demographic, so who cares what I think? Okay, so I was able to find this radio on eBay, and here's someone that still has it with the box. Like the sticker is still holding on for a dear price, dear life right there. But this person still has the original box and packaging and instructions. Like that is very impressive, because a lot of these older things just kind of fell apart, and they still have it in the plastic, which is really cool. They have it for $224.95. So if you're a big Strawberry Shortcake fan, like the OG, you can still get it on eBay. I have seen other ones that won't be as crazy, but you could just always just Google it up. See right here. Here's other places that pretty much sell this stuff. I do check Worth Point once in a while. It once in a blue moon, it does give you additional information in the description, but this time it doesn't. It was just a toy that was sold as a radio, either Sears, JCPenney, Radio Shack, whatever was popular at the time. And that was it. It's like Roby the Robot. And let's go ahead. That's pretty much all I got on this front. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. All right, so let's take a closer look. I did take a moment to wipe her down. I literally just take her out, enjoy her, and then I put her away. So she has been practically kept in suspended animation since it came to me. My sister had her in this place for a long time, so hence why you can see some of the yellowing on the plastic. This is actually not that uncommon for this type of plastic. If you have like any of the old Star Wars figures, the good way to just kind of bleach them back to white is that you stick them on hydrogen peroxide, put them in a Ziploc bag, and put it on the front panel of your car to the sun, and they will be bleached by the next day. But because of what this is, I don't have the ability to bleach it. But it does work in older figures. So if you have like, you know, like a really old stormtrooper that is kind of junky, test it out on that and you'll see what I mean. But as you can see, the whole thing doesn't move. It's just pretty much it's just a figure that happens to be a radio. And there's the little kitty on the top. This is referring to the original Strawberry Shortcake. It's got Strawberry Shortcake, music makes the whole world glow. And right here, as I mentioned, there is a light bulb in here. On the side, you can see the little tuning right here. I can't remember if this was only AM or FM, but you were able to tune back and forth right here as you pretty much move this around. And then you had the volume on the other side and quickly like the on and off feature right here. I'm pretty sure this light bulb is like long burned at this point. When you go to the back, you got a jack back here. I can't remember if this is for power. Yeah, it looks like power, but this also runs on battery. And then you can see right here some of the markings. It says, hold on, let me try to set the phone so we could get a better angle on that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do this with just one hand. There we go. Focus. Okay, there we go. So Strawberry Shortcake, copyright, something, Greeting Corp. And this is back when stuff was made in Hong Kong. Yeah, boy, that takes you back. You can hardly find anything made in Hong Kong these days. And then if you go to the bottom, pretty standard. You go right here, you pop it open. Trying to pop that open as easy as possible. Anything that has batteries for me, I immediately take them out because we've all seen what happens when you leave batteries in. They oxidate. So mine is not oxidated. It's fairly clean. The only thing, the little thing that helps you pull the batteries out, this kind of eventually, I don't know what that is, but it's old. This is old. So it's finally showing its age, but it's been 40 years. Try to snap that in there. I'm always really careful because snapping this old plastic is kind of hard to put back together. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing in a nutshell. So with that, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me as I go down to memory lane. And like I said, this is just me just sharing my collection. Some of them is personal, such as this item. Some of them are just random shenanigans that I picked up that I thought was unique. And some of them is stuff that I'm genuinely a really big fan of. So as I said, if you happen to have any more information about some of these toys, because again, some of them are just limited. It's just like, oh, here is a figure and it got mass produced and then that was it. Like, that is the whole story. So if you happen to know more about the product, how many were produced, and like I said, I'm tracking from my personal experience how I came across with this toy, toy radio. But if you happen to have more information, please go ahead and share. I love to read all those comments, and I do my best to answer within 24 hours. But with that, guys, thank you for joining me in this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Cheers.